Hi there, Premier. I'm going to be a little bit long-winded today because I think some of these allegations, some of the observations, that is, are important to point out. Soiled residents not being changed leading to skin breakdown, little to no disinfection of facilities, pressure ulcers due to little or no turning of bedridden patients, cockroaches and insect infestation, forceful feeding causing audible choking, and on and on and on. You said that you're horrified by this. You are in charge. You're ultimately the boss.
Yep.
Did you fail seniors in this province? I know that you talk about this as a system that's needed to be changed for some time, but you've been the premier for some time, and families that have had loved ones die, families that still have loved ones in these facilities, would like some answers and some accountability. So did you fail seniors in this province?
I don't feel our government failed seniors. Matter of fact, we saved a lot of lives by doing what we did, putting actions in place, by calling in the military, by calling in public health, by getting hospitals in there to support them. Travis, you've been around long enough. You understand this system was broken. I take full accountability for the system that we inherited. But I can tell you, I'm going to fix this system. I'm going to fix this system no matter what it takes. But you're right, the buck stops with me, and I take ownership. I take full ownership of this. But it's a system that just doesn't affect Ontario. You've seen what's happening in Quebec. You're seeing what's happening across the country, and just because we have the largest population, you're really seeing it in Ontario. But we're going to make sure we fix it. Travis, I came up here over and over and over again saying the system was broken. Do we know the absolute extent until I read this report? Not at all. I didn't know the deep, deep roots of it. Did I know the system's broken? 100%. But I can tell you, no matter what it takes, we're going to fix this system.
But Premier, there are other provinces that have taken over long-term care. Do you think it is time now, considering all of these very shocking, very horrifying observations that the military had to find out and the federal government had to let you know about, do you think it's now time for the province to take over long-term care and integrate long-term care into the public health system?
Well, I can tell you the system's broken and everything's on the table, Travis. I'll do whatever it takes. If that's what it takes, that's what we will do. Again, I'm putting everything on the table here. The public needs to know exactly what I found out yesterday afternoon. After the press conference, I got briefed on this, and it was gut-wrenching. When I say gut-wrenching, I was up, and I'm sure everyone was up, I was up all night thinking of this. You know, the families that go in there, you know, and they see their loved ones, and they see this report. You know, I get it. You know, it's heart-wrenching. You want to go in there and get your loved one and take them out and protect them. And when COVID came into these homes, not only did it affect patients, it affected workers, and a lot of workers were scared to show up to work. We had to get other people in. We had to get volunteers. We had to get public health in. And there was a crisis. And I've said there's a crisis in these long-term care homes. The question is, how are we going to fix the problem? We will fix the problem with the support of the federal government. We need to revamp this situation, because I can stand here right now and tell you, I'm sure Ontario is not the only province that has crisis in long-term care. Has it come to the top in other provinces? Maybe because they're smaller provinces? No, it might not have come to the top. But you see what's happening in Quebec? They're facing the same struggles, even worse struggles than Ontario has. But it's unacceptable. You know, I think it's appalling. I think it's disgusting what has happened. Just the dignity of these patients in long-term care not being cleaned. These are just standard operating procedures to clean someone. When you feed them, you lift them up. I'm not an expert in health, but I know when you feed someone, you lift them up and feed them. It's so disturbing when I read this. It was hard to get through. It was the worst report, most heart-wrenching report I have ever read in my entire life, ever. But we're gonna fix this, Travis. I promise you, and I promise the people of Ontario.